It's time for another edition of the Outstanding Shift podcast with your host, Andrew Evans from Rossby Financial. I'm your producer, RJ Malik. Andrew, hello, and how you doing today?
Oh, I'm great, RJ. Again, great to hear you. Great to see you.
Great to join you, and I'm ready for another great podcast. Your podcasts are always interesting and I'll say a little bit different. So,
yes,
which sort of describes you.
I am a little bit different. Thank you. I get it. I've got that my entire life.
But it's a good different because it lets you stand out from the crowd.
That's true.
All right. Enough. Why don't you take it away and introduce your guest and
sure.
topic?
Absolutely. Well, I'm happy to introduce. We have the VP of somewhat new newly crowned VP of Business Development at JW Cole, Pamela Mule. Here we go.
Oh, hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Pam. As you can see, I'm very plain here in my room for those that are watching this on video, and you have all the color. You have all the wonderful things behind you. It looks like you have a chicken, and you have a plant, and you have books, and
the list goes on.
I have a light switch.
Oh, yeah. A whole shelf of self-help and artwork behind me. But
yes,
our office is very eclectic. We like to keep stuff fun around here. So
yeah, not me. I try to keep it ready to go at all times.
Right.
I've never been someone that has things in my office. I don't really have much of an environment. I don't know why.
Snazz it up a little bit sometimes. I need some color in my life to just stay motivated, and it just keeps me going.
Yeah, well, that's why I have my shirt. Actually, I had somebody one time, I guess you could say, like, chastise me for liking pastels, and I was like, "What's wrong with pastels? I like color.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that."
Pastels are in. They are in this season, so you're on that. You're a trendsetter.
I agree.
Basically.
I agree. Thank you. Well, Pam. For those that don't know, I think it would be worth it. I think the people would like to know who you are, where you came from, and let's hear a little bit about what you do with and for the fine people of JW Cole. So, Pam, if you would please tell us who you are.
Sure.
Where you come from.
Where do I start? But
where do I begin?
I know. Beginning. Born in Buffalo, New York. Oh, but
go Bills.
Yeah, go Bills. Yes, absolutely. No, so I'm in Tampa at our home office at JW Cole. We're located right in the heart of Tampa Bay. Been in Tampa about 10 years. What brought me down here, I was in New York City. Worked for a number of different firms, Morgan Stanley being one of them, where I kind of cut my teeth as like a 20-year-old fresh out of college. Went over to another institutional BD, came down to Florida, really wanting like just the lifestyle change. You can't beat it down here. The weather, the beach, I did almost 10 years of the New York City grind. Loved it. It was an amazing experience, but I needed that change. So came down here in 2014. And joined LPL, where I was with LPL Financial for 9 years. And then 2 years into like a month or two, I joined JW Cole. So joined JW Cole as a team member of our business consulting and practice management team. And really, like a lot of things here, we genuinely hire people based on personality and experience and what they might be able to bring to us. And then we just kind of let them flourish and see how they grow. So I took a real taking to the recruiting side of the house, started working with my co-owner, Craig Toll, on the recruiting space. And I've recently, as you said, been crowned head of recruiting and business consultant and business development, rather. So VP of business development and recruiting. It's me, myself, and I over here, working directly with Craig Toll and RJ Wood, who are the owners and partners of the firm. So really, I sit in that seat where I get the opportunity to talk with every advisor that's interested in joining us. And it's a lot of fun. I genuinely enjoy it. All of my years prior to this role I think it's all been leading me exactly where I am today. I've done a lot of work with advisors in the risk and compliance space. And then when I was at LPL, it was the client experience and client success space. So I got to see kind of what was hard for advisors and what their life is really like as a baby branch examiner. Once upon a time, I'd show up at your office and I'd come in with a smile and audit your books and records and try to give you
Yep.
some suggestions on how to be better. But I also got to gather that level of empathy on what is their life really like, and it's rough a lot, especially in the independent side of the house. They're solo practitioners doing a lot by themselves for themselves, and just trying to have that client focus, all the while. So all of
Mhm.
that work, and then moving into the business consulting and practice management side. I mean, it really just kind of gave me a good pulse on
Yep.
what advisors really need, right? And what they
Yeah.
want. So now 2 years in this role, I'm loving it, and we are just busier than ever. So it's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why we get along because similar, with my years over at Cambridge doing really the same thing as an OSJ, also business development, working together in a team, growing one of the or the largest organization over there, going in and doing audits, doing a branch audit, working directly with an advisor team, them asking for help on how they can do better, be better, and that quasi practice management while still being in a supervisory role,
Mm.
you get to know a lot, and it's almost like we became. I'll make it up. It's like we de facto are like research and development.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like we got to see so many different practices and so many different ways that people did things
Yeah.
that it's like we got to sample so much that we could then give back that information to so many people, which
Mm-hmm.
then allows us to talk to so many different kinds of advisors as to, hey, this is why this can work for you, and so on.
Uh-huh.
I think it's I think you being in compliance and supervision,
Mm-hmm.
I think that puts you in a better position to do business development. As odd as that sounds, and I think maybe some
Wholeheartedly
compliance
agree.
people might shudder at that. I think it puts us
I
in a
know.
better position to do it.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm a problem solver at heart. I've always been. If I'm thinking about navigating a situation, in the back of my mind, I probably have two other scenarios I'm running in tandem at the same time. So, and I think that that's what it's about, right? It's not, I would say I'm like the least salesy sales girl that there is, because I genuinely want people to come here and be happy. I want them to be successful,
Mhm.
right? So a lot of what my process is just genuinely building a relationship with any of the recruits that come across my plate, and just get to know you. What's important to you?
Mhm.
What matters? Let's dig into your business. How are you running your business, right? What products are you using? What platforms are you on? What do you want? Are we transitioning your business, or are we transforming it? You know? So,
Okay, Pam. All right. So for those that don't know JW Cole, you guys are you're a hybrid
mhm.
BDRIA. You're not gigundous, which is great. All right. I still think you guys you're like the last. I'll go out on a limb here and whatever to everybody. You're like the last good cultured one that hasn't like lost your way. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Okay. You're like one of the
Well,
last
I
that hasn't
agree.
lost your way. All right.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And so in every one of my podcasts, because this is what it is. So at the Outstanding Shift, we like to find out, well, what do people need to do, or what's that nugget that makes you become outstanding? Okay, what does it take to get there? But I always like to ask something tough, okay? But I always like to ask it in a weird way. So, Pam, for what you were just saying of like you like to make sure people are happy.
Mhm.
So here's your tough question, Pam. What are the other business development officers, or what are other firms? What are they getting wrong? Why are they doing it wrong right now? What's wrong with them?
Good
That's your pointed
question.
question.
Good
What are they doing
question.
wrong?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And I say this too with the utmost respect for my counterparts out there. I have a lot of great relationships with some of them, and
We like all of them, and I know
yeah,
that
well,
they're
volleying
listening, and we like
ideas and
everybody.
things. But yeah, but to answer it candidly, I think that what is wrong out there with the folks in my role at other firms is the desire to push these advisors in a box, right? For the benefit of the firm more so than the benefit of the advisor. We're seeing a lot of that. Um, and again, it's, everybody's business model is different, but that's one thing that I would say is wrong out there, is
Mhm.
the push and the incentivization to put to have an advisor move their business to a platform or proprietary product and push in that space for the benefit of the firm versus is it right for the advisor and their business, right?
Mhm.
So that would be my answer.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm still always surprised that that still exists, or that that we can even how should I say, that it's even masked,
Yeah, yeah.
like that they can even still mask that for
Hmm.
some reason. Like, just
Right.
it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
just say that that's what you want.
Hmm.
Just say no, no, no. Like, hey, come here, but listen, but you have to do business this way,
Hmm.
and just say it. Like, it's okay. Like, just say it.
Right.
Don't pretend,
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you hit the
and
nail on
that's
the head
okay.
there. Yeah, no, I'm completely with you. I think you're right on point, and that's part of it too, right? Is not only that push, that forceful nudge and into a box, but that the lack of transparency. And I get very close with a lot of the folks that I work with in joining JW Cole, regardless if they end up joining, right? I do have a pretty high batting average and I take that seriously, right? But I
Hmm.
think that the reason why we win is because we're taking that time to genuinely get to know them and their business as a part of the recruiting process. But as a part of that process, I've had a number of folks over the past couple years just show me some offers that they're getting and that we're ultimately competing with. And I've been able to help them dissect it, because I mean, there's just some pretty interesting stuff out there these days. There's a lot of competition, and
Hmm.
I've seen some wild things that it takes a bit to really untangle it and understand exactly what this offer letter or what this payout grid is really saying.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Pam, how, or I should say, well, what for you, really, what was the turn that brought you from compliance into business development?
Yeah.
Like, what do you say? No, nah,
Hmm.
I'm going over here. I'm going to go from compliance and practice development and consulting. Now I'm just going to do business development now.
Hmm.
I'm going that way.
Yeah, good question. So I mean, I say that especially the branch inspections work that I did, I led a regional team of branch examiners, and a big piece of that management job that I had was to go out, train my examiners, but then also really teach them how to go into an office, potentially come out with some findings that may not lead to the best audit rating. We never know, point out some things that are wrong, but then also leave shaking hands, sometimes with a hug and the advisor saying thank you. So it was that client experience focus that I really developed in that role that just gave me such a love and a passion for helping advisors build better businesses. And a lot of times the compliance strategy it's a piece of that, right? If you're not compliant and kind of, walking in between the appropriate lines, then, you're going to have some problems. And that's ultimately taking your focus away from the development side of the house. So I
Hmm.
was just so hungry for how can I do more of that? How can I help advisors be better? How can I help them grow? I started to do a bit of that at LPL before I came to JW Cole. And LPL, I mean, it was a great place to work while I was there. I enjoyed my time there. I was just super hungry for the ability to be in a seat that has the level of impact that I really wanted to have. So that brought me to JW Cole, and it was kind of a serendipitous journey. I had some
I
common,
love that word. I
yeah,
love
me
that word.
too, me too.
I
I
love
had
that word.
a few common contacts that ended up here as well, and just after one lunch with an old friend, I ended up, here to just meet the owners. I had met RJ Wood before. I had never met Craig Toll before. And we just sat down, and it was an interview that turned into a 4+ hour session, kind of getting to know each other and almost interviewing each other. Um,
Mhm.
and then when I walked out, I said, wow, I think I just got a different job, So it was
Was that at
really,
Rocco's
it was
Tacos
neat.
also?
Yeah. And
Was that at
it's
Rocco's
actually
Tacos?
right here in East
Oh,
Haven.
good.
Yeah. Magic Rocco's Tacos with this, though. The one Andrew Evans.
Yeah. Well, we need to get back to
Yeah, we
everybody needs
do.
to go to
Need
Rocco's Tacos if you haven't been to
another true
Rocco's Tacos.
margarita lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a proper lunch.
Mhm.
Okay, so okay, I'm going to retrace. You said, and I'm a big fan of training and development. And you said you're not a very salesy girl, but I will also say I believe you're supposed to say woman nowadays. Okay, that's what you're supposed to say. I keeps
Yeah.
it real,
Yeah. You
right?
were,
I
yeah.
keeps it real.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number two, but have you had any formal sales training? Have you done any formal sales training? Have you been through anything?
I haven't. No, I really haven't. Outside of mentorship with folks in the industry that have really taken me under their wing over the years, have mentored me. No former sales training. No, I
Have you seen any firms anymore? I'm kind of driving at something here. Have you
yeah,
seen any firms do that anymore? When was the last time you heard of a firm doing sales training?
I haven't. Not. I mean, I haven't at all. So no. I mean, it is. It's funny you bring it up though, 'cause it was something I was thinking about the other day. But no, I have not seen
Did you
anyone doing
uh,
it.
did you wait, did you start at Morgan Stanley
Yes,
or
I've started at Morgan Stanley, fresh out of college.
okay, and
Mm-hmm.
but that was only in what, 2018, right? When you just got
Oh,
out of
yeah, you're too
college, right?
kind. You're too kind.
Is that
That's why I went with
yeah.
girl instead of woman because I'm really 22. Yeah.
That's right. Well, yes, yes, of course, of course, of course. Okay, but like, all of those firms, and I don't even know if they do it anymore, but like all of those firms, I started with Raymond James and Associates, just okay, full and
Right.
fair disclosure for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
just right down the road from where you guys are.
Yeah.
And, that was in the early 2000s. And all of these firms used to do the big sales training.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in a sales training class. Mind you, it was 48 guys and one woman
Oh,
time. Um, and it was a revolving, and they had like one every couple months. And I think every firm had it. And now I look around, it's like, I don't even know if anybody does that anymore. And then everybody's complaining, this is all anecdotal, it's all, I guess, hyperbole. But then everybody's talking about like, well, there's not enough we don't have enough advisors in the industry. And everybody says, we don't have enough young people. How are we going to get more young people into the industry?
right.
I was like, but nobody has any development. We have to develop young people in the
Mm-hmm.
business. Well, we don't have any training programs. And so I guess I'm coming back and I'm saying, Pam, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Pam, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah. Well,
Miss VP, newly crowned VP of Business Development. What do you think about development for Gen Z
yeah.
in financial services?
Yeah. Well, very good point, because that is probably one of the biggest items that we coach on and I work with advisors on. It's typically number 1 or 2 on their strategy list when we're talking about how I can help them be better. So we actually launched a next generation training program at JW Cole. So kicked off this spring, and it's been really great. The whole goal behind the program is to support our advisors in growing their businesses and helping them through our coaching, coach up that next generation. So we have a whole team of sons and daughters of our advisors, and then some other folks that are, maybe team members, staff members. They've been in junior advisors. So the amount of experience really varies, but ultimately we just said, hey, how can we help? And what we're hearing is that not only are you guys and gals you're running your entire business. Again, you're not just an advisor that's working under a corporate umbrella. You're a business owner in the independent space. It's just a totally different animal. And you don't have time to train a junior advisor. And then there's also that weird dynamic sometimes when they're your own children or family. So that's why we kicked off the program this spring. It's going really well. There's a lot of great programming coming up, and the best part about it though is it's giving these young people the space to really grow together, network with each other, lean on each other. And in the world of independence, where folks are all spread out and so much is digital, getting them here together in person was really awesome. And then at our national conference, we'll be getting them together again, and the virtual programming in between. So it's been great.
So I will say for our listeners at home, my emphatic setup was not a softball. I actually had no idea that you guys did that.
Oh, really?
I really had no idea that you guys did that. So I was like, oh, good. I was just more like, trying to see like what your general thoughts are. But that's awesome that you guys are doing that. I really didn't know you did that. So, I mean, but that's great. But it's not just, for the next generation of like, oh, okay, so I have John Smith and he wants to, have his daughter learn the business or his son learn the business. It's no, here's John Smith, and we at JW Cole have these resources. He needs to get an intern. We can help him figure out how to put out an ad over at University of Tampa, bring somebody in, work on some interviews, maybe set somebody up, show him, okay, go through this process. Okay, then we could give him some things to kind of walk through how to do a little bit of a training. I'm stuff like this. Is that what you guys are doing?
Twofold. So I would say, and we've taken our coaching and sort of broken it down, but in the teaming space, right? We have the Next Gen program, which is if you already have someone on your team that you want to coach up and give them that level of development, that's a good space for them. But for the advisors that we have that are just struggling with finding that successor, that junior rep, that intern, sometimes they're struggling with just finding an assistant, right? Or a staff member, virtual or in person. That's where we do a lot of, I would say, more customized coaching directly based on what the advisor needs, right? So we'll do, I learn a lot of that during the recruiting process. I'm working with a team right now that's going to need some virtual assistant services.
I happen to know.
Yeah, I know.
An organization
I know
that can help out with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I happen to know somebody that's good with that.
Yeah. A little plug for our offices. I mean, we've been able to plug you guys in with so many of our advisors that genuinely makes such a big impact in their business. Is being able to take some of that lift off of their plates from an office work perspective, and some of that administrative stuff, if you will, allows them to refocus more on the business. On the succession side of the house, depending on where they're at, we are coaching all of the time to not only just, do we need help finding a successor? And if that is the case, like we are plugged into a few different college financial planning programs, both locally and in a few other states. One thing I'll just back up a little bit is because of the scale and the fact that we have intentionally chosen to stay at a size that allows us to have the right scale, we genuinely know all of our advisors. We have really good relationships with them. So that helps us really understand what they're looking for and be able to kind of, provide that coaching and service to them. So,
yeah, I think that's great. There's, because my on the other side of our house, because as everybody I would hope knows by now
Mm.
that, I run my two organizations. I have the fractional services business, the R office side of the house, and I have the RIA side of the house. And the RIA side of the house is just an RIA. That's all it does. And we like to keep that nice and tight and neat. And that's all it does.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it does. We don't do anything else, just an RIA.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting over here on the fractional services side is that, my goodness, people need, there's so many things that just come out of the woodwork that everybody needs help with, that I've just been surprised that people have been asking help for. It's not just applications, and it's not just like paraplanning. Like, it's been like phone calls, it's been um, building websites, it's been
Oh, yeah.
workflows, it's been lead generation, um, it's been diagramming workflow processes, product matrices, social media posts. There's been all kinds of things that people have been asking for as of late. Black Diamond
Mhm.
administration. And so there's all these things that keep popping up that I just don't see it slowing down. And this now coming back to a younger generation. It's people say every so many generations of this business, or every generation of this business, let's say the current working generation says to the next generation coming in, forget it, you can't make money. I swear, like when I started, in the early 2000s, I walk in first day at Raymond James down in Sarasota.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys and people in the window said, forget it, you can't make money.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 years later, everybody said, nope, new people, nope, can't make money. And everybody's doing it. But like,
Yeah.
my goodness, for all the things that have to be done in this business,
Right.
for what we're seeing that is being asked, the new things that are coming in, it's a great time to come in.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful time to come in and learn and develop, get a CFP, get your 65, work with a group like JW Cole, link up with a senior advisor, start your own thing, whatever it is. Now's the time. And pardon me as I shift, Pam, because we're getting a little bit closer to time.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get your opinion too
Sure.
of the advisors that you are talking to, looking to come on board with JW Cole. What's the overall attitude, or we'll say appetite, desire for use of AI tools or implementation? What are you guys getting?
Yeah. Honestly, it's become one of the must-haves for the folks that I'm talking to, which I really love. So a lot of times I'll see, teams that are coming in, and it, like I have one recently, it's a father and a son, right? The son is really interested in AI, and what we can do. Do we support it? How do we support it? What do we allow? So proudly, we are a very, kind of innovative firm. So we have some AI tools that are already on board. You're seeing a lot of folks using tools today and plugging them into their meetings. It's just helping us all work smarter. I've started to use it myself. When we're in these meetings nonstop, how much time do you really have to stop to even dictate your notes? Because in the old dictation services, not to knock them, because they were really great for what they offered us for so long, but you still had to spend that time to break it down and get it into a format. And now these AI tools are just phenomenal. Not only note taking, but building follow up, helping you build content that you ultimately are going to plug into the client's financial plan. We don't want anyone using AI to completely replace their knowledge, right? We still, we just, and, impress on our advisors that we just make sure that you keep that hat on, right? And, you are fully responsible for all the advice you're providing. We don't want to use AI for that, but any way that AI can help us work smarter is just, it's where it's at. So it's one of the wish list items when I have folks come to us, and there are folks that have been coming to us because they're at a firm today that's not offering them the flexibility to use newer, better financial technology tools.
Yeah, I find it interesting that there are firms that are still resistant to it. it's like the as you know, like our 2025 theme over here in our brands has been get with it.
Hmm.
So it's like, come on, guys, you got to get with it. It's where it is, and if you're not incorporating it in some form or fashion now, you will absolutely be left behind. Some of it is going to be just a big old nothing burger,
Hmm.
but hey, a lot of these things you're going to have. Its ability to track data, collect it for you, bundle it up quickly. You got to have it, and
Yeah,
hey, it's becoming table stakes.
absolutely. I agreed. I think it is
Yeah.
table stakes.
And Pam, as we're on our 30-minute mark, we're going to wrap up. But Pam, I'm going to give you the final word on this.
Hmm.
And I'd say for all of our listeners out there, our business development folk, people looking to say, hey, maybe make a shift in their career. Maybe they're looking to do business development. Maybe they are a business development manager. Maybe they're just looking to make something awesome happen. What do you want to say to them? What should they be thinking about right now as they're moving out of, their early 20s into their late 20s like yourself, and they're now going to be crowned VP of business development? What do you think they should be doing, thinking
Yeah.
about?
I would say I was thinking about, kind of what has led me down the path that I've gone down professionally and personally. And I think a big piece is always saying yes, right? Lean into yes. Step outside of your comfort zone. Do more, step outside of that role that you're doing today. Do more, prove yourself, and just say yes, it's those points where I took a chance on myself and said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that extra thing or that extra task. I'll step into a space that maybe I've never stepped into before, but let me just shoot my shot. And that's what's really gotten me to the place that I've got to professionally.
And congratulations on that, Pam.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Great.
Excellent. Before we go, Pam, how about some contact information?
I prefer just give me a call. It's 443-506-2174.
Okay. And Andrew, your contact info?
You give me a call too, right on the corporate number, 321-209-0157.
Excellent. Thank you. And most importantly, thank you for listening to the Outstanding Shift podcast. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, please click the subscribe button below. This way, when the team comes out with a new podcast, it will show up directly on your listening device. And we humbly ask you to share this podcast, rate it, and leave a review, because this actually helps others find the show. Again, thank you for listening. And for Andrew and Pam, I'm RJ Malik, and we look forward to you joining us for our next podcast.
Thank you for listening to The Outstanding Shift. Don't forget to hit the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our websites at www.ouroffice.team, www.rossbyfinancial.com, or give us a call at 321-209-0111. The information provided in this video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You should consult a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions.